Okay, so Acolyte has been in the news again 'cause it was the second most watched new show on Disney Plus for the year 2024. A lot of caveats. So let's talk about that. Part of the reason why the Acolyte failed is it's a mystery. So you pretty much have two main mysteries in most mysteries. Who is doing the thing and why do they do it? Very quickly we find out who. It's like, oh, there's twins. Okay. And then the why is kind of bland. If you look at it from May's perspective, May is killing Jedi because they were going to steal her twin sister away from her, which is then why she set their complex on fire. It's kind of almost like, oh yeah, I totally see why you want to avenge your sister who didn't want to be a witch. So you threatened to kill her and then you burned the house down. Okay? So we're going to take the Acolyte, we're going to try to break it down and try to make more sense and have it go a little bit faster paced. So, episode 1. I would still begin with the killing of Carrie Ann Moss. I think you do that really early on. It sets a nice tone of, hey, guess what? Big name people, they can die. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. That sort of vibe to it. I would then cut to Jedi Council finding, hey, this Jedi Master was killed. While that's going on, I then have her go kill the dude who's floating in the bubble. This is how much I care about the majority of the characters' names. I then have her do that sequence where she's like, oh, you know what you did? Give him the poison, kills himself. I would probably also show, I think it's Quilmer, the stranger, her talking with him and getting the poison. We then have Jedi Squid Game and a few other, Jedi show up. We do that whole fight sequence. You might notice I've left out, and also we don't have the Osha May connection right off the bat. I'm getting to that. That's my end of episode 1. And I'd be like, Master, that looked a lot like, I know, my old Padawan. See, just boom. End it there. That's episode 1. Episode 2, you can now show, if you want to, you can show Osha doing the whole, mechanic thing. If you're under the fire and space thing, I know, it was really super cool. They had to throw it in there. You can show her doing that. And that's then when she gets arrested. If you want to have Jedi Killmonger do it and have some other Jedi still kind of do the local thing and be like, oh, we found the poison vial, talk to the apothecary, do that sort of stuff. Have her get arrested. And since she's killing Jedi, there's no reason to put her on a ship with regular inmates controlled by droids. I have them actually take her to the council. So in episode 2, have her be interrogated and be like, what do you remember about the first time you met me? That could be a Jedi Squid Game title. Ask me these things. Have someone kind of like probe her mind. We then use the great trope of the unreliable narrator. She's telling the things that happened the first time they met. Now, different from the show, I just show Osha. I don't show May. I don't show that she has a twin. I just show her with like some weird gaps every now and then. You then end with Quilmer, the person they're talking to. You then have him fleeing the planet and kind of go, oh, I don't think she was working alone. Boom. Okay, we need to go see Jedi Wookiee. Episode 3, we're now hunting down the Jedi Wookiee. Which episode 3? Now this is also you kind of get this. This is your big moment, your big reveal. You take Osha with you. So that way then it's like, we know where she is. She's here. Keep a constant eye on her. And that way then when they make it to the Wookiee's dead. And they're like, oh man, dead by a lightsaber. That's when you then have, if you want to do the big lightsaber fight, cool. Or if you want to have that end up being the reveal that Osha has a twin sister that she has no recollection of. Now, why am I doing that? Yes, your killer is still functionally May. Or Mai, we're going to go with. But then as we get towards the end, you find out, what did the Jedi do? Why is May going on a killing spree? Well, May was still abandoned, still left, still thought her sister died. Well, the Jedi did Osha to remove any sense of attachment. Just have them have done some sort of thing where they remove her memories. Yes, that's right. I am the Jedi do the mind wipe on somebody so then they don't have additional attachments. Now all of a sudden, when Osha finds out that, oh, I had a twin sister, you removed her from my mind, and then May will be like, I've been trying to find you all these years. You never looked for me because you didn't know that I existed. You know, you can work with that, and then all of a sudden, when you have Osha make the turn to the dark side, and bleed the crystal, and then kill Jedi Squid Game, her reason for turning to the dark side is much more pronounced instead of seeing Quilmer's lightsaber. You actually work that. So you still keep the same, well, here's your killer, but now the motivation for why is better. And if you pace it instead of 8 episodes and push down to 6, you keep it just nice, tight, and flowing well, it's probably been a much better received thing. When the idea is like, oh, the Jedi are evil. Okay. What did the Jedi do that was so evil? It's a misunderstanding. Okay. That's not of being like, oh man, they're horrible people. Oh, they're child kidnappers. No. If you do the, Jedi Squid Game cared so much about her, didn't want her to have these bizarre attachments, didn't have all these problems, when she gets farther along to being a Padawan. So they functionally, remove that character from her memories. That's a huge revelation. That's something that actually makes you kind of go, I can understand why this person is turning to the dark side. I mean, it's something that you can take the majority of what's there, cut some spots here and there. I mean, you can even take, the majority of what was shown in the first time that we saw the flashback, and just cut out the spots where there's May. It's just Osha. And then when you show it again, and she's like, oh, this is what actually happened, you can then have, Quilmer do the whole, I was a former Padawan, what they did was this, I think the probably does this. You then have him just like unlock her memories. Boom, she knows everything. Then when you do the backtrack to it, instead of showing it from like the Jedi point of view, which, I mean, didn't really add much to the story, except for the fact that one was like, I just want to go home. And then he got, mind Mickey'd. Hey, cool, show the Jedi doing it. If you want the Jedi to be evil, actually make them do things that people kind of go, I have a hard time really rationalizing that was the right thing to do. Okay. So you could take what was there, tweak it just a little bit. And also don't throw. So the Acolyte, depending on how you look at the budget, was higher than that of Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm pretty sure Disney would probably want to do more Deadpool Wolverines than they would want to do the Acolyte.